between the Google Pixel versus the iPhone 7 Plus. Oh, Pixel? Why not the Pixel XL, I hear you ask? Surely to make this test fair, it should be between two 5.5-inch devices. Well, not necessarily, because the Pixel XL actually has a high resolution Quad HD versus the Full HD resolution of the iPhone 7 Plus. So that test wouldn't be too fair, because the XL will be pushing out many more pixels. So this way, by using the regular Pixel, we are comparing like for like, 1080p versus 1080p, and that way nobody can complain about the resolution. So now that that's been clarified, this speed test is going to contain everything from benchmark scores to camera launch to app tests as well as multitasking. Now if you want to customize the look of your smartphone like I have done here for my iPhone 7 Plus, then I definitely recommend picking up a skin from our channel sponsor Dbrand. I'll leave a link to them in the description below if you want to go ahead and pick one up. Now I'm not including the fingerprint scanner speed test in this particular video because a lot of people say it's pointless. So if you do want to see it, then drop me a comment below, and if enough of you want to see it, I'll do a separate fingerprint scanner speed test between these two. Now getting to the benchmarks, here you can see on Geekbench 3, the iPhone 7 Plus is absolutely annihilating the Pixel with a single core score of more than double that of the Pixel, and also a very high multi-core score. Now for the camera launch, the Pixel has a quick launch, which is double pressing the standby button, and the quickest way to launch the camera on the iPhone 7 Plus is to pick the phone up and then swipe right. So I filmed these two separately and then synced them up to make it as fair as possible, and the Pixel was the quicker of the two, not to mention also the more convenient. Now getting to the app test, you can see that we've got nothing else open in the background, and here are the list of apps that we'll be using. So they go from some very low intensive apps to the more higher intensive apps such as games. So starting off with the calculator, both were very quick. I'd say slightly quicker on the Pixel there, and we're going to do a very simple equation and leave this on in the background just to see if it stays open. Moving on to the next test, this is the browser test. So we're going to be using the native browsers on both devices, and we'll go on to the BBC News website. And the homepage did seem to finish first on the 7 Plus, but there was this cookies message, so we won't take it into consideration. Let's go into an article. That definitely finished first on the 7 Plus, but both do load content up as we scroll down. So let's go on to the next test anyway. We'll go on to Twitter. That was definitely faster on the Pixel, as you saw. Now we'll just refresh the home screen. That was slightly quicker on the 7 Plus. Let's go into notifications. Very close, very close to tell. I think it was slightly quicker on the 7 Plus. Let's go into Instagram. Definitely quicker to load the latest content on the Pixel. Now we'll go into my profile. That was slightly quicker on the 7 Plus, and let's open an image. Slightly quicker on the Pixel. So interesting results so far, very close. Now let's really try out the speed by going on to YouTube. Now the content that's loaded on both of these is different, so we can't take that test into consideration, but we'll load the same video. Very close. I'd say it's neck and neck. Maybe ever so slightly quick on the 7 Plus. Let's go on to Angry Birds 2. So we are now building up on the games. Speeding this up. Finish first on the 7 Plus here. We're still waiting for the Pixel to catch up. So it does take quite a bit longer for Angry Birds to load up on the Pixel compared to the 7 Plus. And now let's leave this open in the background and we'll move on to the next game, which is Temple Run 2. We'll speed this up slightly once again, and the 7 Plus is the winner here with the game loaded up fully. The Pixel catches up, and we'll set off both games to play, and we'll leave these open, and let's go on to Subway Surfers. Finish first on the 7 Plus, so you're seeing a bit of a trend here. games do seem to be quite a bit faster to load up on the 7 Plus. We'll leave the game playing on both here, so it's running in the background. Now let's move on to the last and final game, which is Dead Trigger 2. Wow, the home screen was super quick on the 7 Plus. Now we'll play the game and see how long it takes to load up the actual game. Faster yet again on the 7 Plus. So you would have seen that for games, the 7 Plus does seem like a clear winner. It just does load up games quite a bit faster compared to the Pixel. Now remember, we are working with the same resolution here, so this is not something to complain about. If we had the Pixel XL, then this is something that you guys may have been able to complain about. Now leaving these open, let's just check out if all of the apps that we left are still there. So we're going to go over firstly on to the calculator. So that was the first app that we opened. See if we've still got that there. And yep, still there on both. Now we'll move on to the browser. So going on to both here. In the exact same position, page is still loaded up on both as well. Now we'll move on to Twitter. Yep, same place. Next, Instagram. At the image that we left it open at, going on to YouTube. Playing the video, works on both fine. Now moving on to Angry Birds 2. Same place. Temple Run 2. Also in the same place, we can resume it. That's fine. Now we'll move on to Subway Surfers. Right where we left it. Finally, Dead Trigger 2. And in the same place we left it. So both do seem to be doing pretty well in terms of leaving apps open in the background. So there we have it, the detailed speed test between the Google Pixel and the iPhone 7 Plus. As you saw, for the less intensive apps, it was very close. But when it did come to gaming, then this is where the iPhone 7 Plus really did shine. And this time around, there was no excuse on the Android side for pushing out more pixels. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did,